A dimly lit, empty street in Washington, D.C. at midnight. Suddenly, all screens, phones, televisions, electronic billboards flicker and display the same strange message. A cryptic, eerie warning about Election Day. Voiceover, mechanical and distorted. When the votes are cast, secrets will rise. Not all voices are human. Choose wisely if you value your soul. The message cuts out, leaving static on all screens. Cut to a high-profile debate stage. Senator David Collins, a confident, seasoned politician, and Governor Lena Harper, his charismatic, fiery opponent, face off. The moderator asks about the rise in strange, unexplained disappearances occurring in their respective states.
These so-called disappearances are nothing more than rumors meant to distract us. Our nation is safe under my leadership. Safe? Then explain the thousands of people who've gone missing this past year. No trace, no explanation, nothing.
The audience murmurs uneasily. As they argue, the lights in the auditorium flicker ominously. That night, Governor Harper returns to her hotel room, exhausted. Her campaign manager, Marissa, enters with a stack of documents.
Lena, there's something you need to see. It's about Senator Collins.
They examine a series of photographs showing Collins in strange locations, visiting old cemeteries and meeting shadowy figures in secret meetings. One image shows Collins performing what appears to be a ritual in the dark woods.
This can't be real. What is he doing?
Some say he's not human. People think he's been using dark magic to sway voters, to manipulate their minds.
Harper's face pales as she begins to realize the magnitude of her opponent's secrets. Election Day. People all over the country report strange occurrences at polling stations, mysterious shadows lurking, malfunctioning machines, and people vanishing in voting booths. One voter, an elderly woman named Mrs. Turner, steps into a booth.
Gasp.
As she tries to cast her vote, a dark shadow overtakes her and she gasps. She's pulled into the darkness, her scream cut off abruptly. The booth opens, and no one is inside. Back at Collins's campaign headquarters, things are tense. A few staff members nervously glance over at Senator Collins, who seems to have an eerie, almost unnatural focus. As night falls, the staff hears whispers in the dark, and strange figures appear in their peripheral vision.
Sweating profusely, Paul, your loyalty will be rewarded or punished.
Suddenly, Paul sees a hand reaching out from the shadows and pulls him into the darkness. The other staff members scream and flee the building. Governor Harper, desperate to uncover the truth, meets with a local historian, Professor Wyatt, who reveals ancient documents about an occult group called the Chosen, who were believed to influence elections to serve their own dark purposes.
Collins, I think he's one of them. Every 4 years they bring forth a candidate to control the people, manipulate governments. They've always existed hiding among us.
What do I do to stop him?
There's only one way to defeat him. He draws power from the votes of those under his spell.
She realizes she'll have to face Collins directly in the heart of his influence. That evening, Collins holds a massive rally. The crowd is unusually quiet, their faces blank as they chant his name in unison. Harper and a few of her remaining allies sneak into the rally, watching in horror as Collins performs a ritual on stage, absorbing the energy of the chanting crowd.
He's feeding off them, controlling them.
The crowd's chanting grows louder, and suddenly a dark fog fills the air, swirling around Collins as he raises his hands. Harper rushes the stage, determined to confront him. Harper confronts Collins in front of the crowd, their eyes locked in a tense standoff.
This is where it ends, David. Your lies, your dark power, it's over.
Senator Collins smirks, his confidence unshaken. You have no idea what forces you're dealing with, Lena. The people chose me, and now they belong to me. As they argue, shadows begin to rise around Collins, taking the form of past victims, each a soul he's claimed. Harper, realizing the power he's drawn from them, raises her voice, urging the crowd to resist.
Remember who you are. He's controlling you. Break free.
Some members of the crowd shake off their trance, murmuring in confusion. As they break free, Collins begins to weaken, his face contorting with rage. Harper, determined to end his reign, grabs a broken flagpole and plunges it into the shadow where Collins stands. There's a blinding flash of light, and the shadows scream in agony as Collins falls. The shadows dissipate, and the crowd collapses, breaking free of his spell. Collins lies motionless, his unnatural life force drained. Harper stands victorious. In the aftermath, Harper addresses the nation, promising to restore transparency and safeguard democracy. But as she walks away from the podium, she notices a faint shadow on the ground. It follows her, a lingering reminder that dark forces never truly disappear.